I'm guilty. I'm never going to try this again. I'm in jail now.
Yeah, now I'll be serving time the rest of my life on this one.
Now this will never change. And a lot of us build those prisons pretty darn easily when it comes to, because shame is one of the biggest, bars of those prisons, right? When we start to feel shame.
Yeah, and it's so easy how that card gets played by our partner who's not on board.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They don't want what we want. And I mean, this is so the theorist I trained under was David Schnarch.
Mm-hmm.
That he was the guy that I would eat up everything he wrote.
Passed away this past year?
Last October in 20. Yep. But he used to have a phrase that as kind of a good way to look at our growth journey. He'd have this, the way he would describe it is when you're at a lower desire or lower or more other validated, where you care more about what your partner responds and confirms what you want. So if I was to propose to my wife tonight, hey, even though it's been really rainy here, let's go have sex on the roof tonight. We'll do it in the dark and it'll be
just
somewhat safe, but it's still risky. Right. Well, I don't know. I might actually propose this to her. Who knows? But if she is kind of not as well defined and solid, I guess you could say, and I'm not trying to make this as a hierarchy because we're all on a developmental continuum, but it's likely she could respond with, that's gross, perverted, and disgusting. Why would you want to do that? And if I'm not really solid, I was just joking. I had this conversation on a podcast today with Keith, and he suggested it. He thought it was a good idea. I would blame somebody else, right? It's like, and I tell people, I tell people jokingly, blame Sexy Marriage Radio for some of these things. Dude, that's fine. We could take it. But if I'm more solid and more exposed with what I'm interested in, because some of the stuff we're interested in, it's questionable to say the least. That's the fantasy kind of stuff.
It's risky, right? It's vulnerable.
Right. So if I'm in that scenario, but I'm coming at it with a little more feet under me, I would say the same thing. Like, hey, babe, let's have sex on the roof tonight. She's like, that's gross, perverted, and disgusting. Why would you want to do that? My response is going to be more likely, that's exactly why I want to do it, because it's gross, perverted, and disgusting, and I want to share it with you. Come on, baby. Let's. And she could still say no, but it's just kind of a different way to look at how often do I want to eat Chinese for the 16th day in a row, but I don't want to bring it up because I don't want to be judged. But I really want it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's a developmental lens to look at what's going on between us, and more importantly, who I am in the midst of what's going on between us, to realize I really like Chinese food and
sex
I'm
on
okay.
The roof.
And sex on the roof, and let's combine those two, right?
We can bring the Chinese, and then in any order.
Exactly.